Hello, my name is Reverend Aki Aheen, licensed and bonded minister, plus a licensed and bonded public insurance adjuster. I'm here today with a great friend of mine who's started a ministry, which is called the Bread of Life Ministry. I'm going to introduce you to John because later on when we get into this, we're going to get into the persistence he had to do to get this started, the sacrifices he had to make, a lot of things he had to go through. A lot of people think you just sit down with you just one day come up with an idea and just go do it. Now it's a little bit more to it than that. Hey, John, how you doing this morning?
Good morning, Minister Aki.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is John Holland from Trenton, New Jersey, the president of Bread of Life Ministry at New Salem Baptist Church, where our pastor is Ernest D. Wormley Jr., 316 Union Street. Also have a nonprofit organization called We Are One Trenton Incorporated, which we do a lot for the less fortunate and a lot of seniors in our city. We do a lot of food giveaways, clothing giveaway. We did do a lot of giving out masks, hand sanitizers. We just try to do for the people that other people don't do for. So basically, that's what we do, and we try to help each one teach one, each one help one. That's what we're about.
Sounds good. Now, we're going to get more to this right after this. All right, we're back now. John, I want to read you something, and I want you to elaborate on how that connects with you and the Bread of Life, okay? It says here, for which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it? These happily after he hath laid the foundation is not able to finish it, all that began and it began to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consult whether he's able with 10,000 to meet him and coming against him with 20,000? Or else while you are yet a great way off, he's sending an ambassador to desire conditions of peace. So how do you figure that associate with you? Because it sounds to me like it's saying you have to have a plan.
Well, when I first started this.
Before we go there, John,
all right,
so people will know who you are, where you come from, because a lot of times people see us in one place, not realizing where we come from.
Okay.
We both come from the streets, so
All right. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, see, I was born and raised in South Trenton, and with my grandparents, which we had a pretty decent life, but I chose differently. I ran the streets, I sold drugs, I did all this. I've been to prison a few times, and the last prison sentence I did 8.5 years for selling drugs. So, my life was totally different than what it is now. So I hurt a lot of people hurt me. But as time went on, as I got older, and when I was incarcerated, I spoke, before I went into incarceration, the last time I spoke to my pastor, Ernest D. Wormley, and I told him I was tired. I was tired. I got kids, grandkids out here. So make a long story short, when I came home this time, it was like I hurted so many people, not actually physically, but, spiritually, emotionally, by selling drugs to them and doing this and that. So my thought process was, let me come out here and help some people.
Right.
So I turned my whole vision around of hurting people to start helping people. So that's basically what my ministry has started with helping people, helping others. And some of the people that I help now that is less fortunate, some of the people that was on top at one time and I was hurting them. So basically, and I got criticized about doing what I do, because a lot, when I first started, it came out of my pocket. I worked hard, 2-3 jobs when I came home, and I was using my money to help other people. And I was criticized about it, but it didn't bother me. It was just like, okay, I took from these people for a long time, so now it's time for me to give back.
Let me interrupt for just a second here. And it sounds to me like you did count the cost. You knew it was going to cost you something.
Yeah.
And what I just want to focus on this for a minute, because you made a sacrifice, is what you're telling me. I believe that's you made a huge sacrifice. It wasn't a small one. So, and the reason I want to bring it out, because some people don't realize they don't think it's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
to start a business. So go from there. I mean,
well, it's definitely a sacrifice, time, money, a lot of times in some of the things that I do, I'll be out all day long with no sleep or whatever. So it is a sacrifice to help others out, and nothing comes back in my pocket. Anything that I do from the heart, even if it's my last, I'm gonna do it, because if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. So it's not like I make anything off of what I do when I give back, because that's not the way it is. But I have made, sacrifices, which I don't mind. It's just a blessing to be able to help others out. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to do what I do, and the people that help me when we do it, it makes them feel good, and I wouldn't be able.
Let me interject this. I know I'm doing you like Pastor Doobie all the time when he have me really keep interrupting. There's a certain joy that comes from helping somebody that can't help themselves. And the reason I want to I want to separate this because of what you're doing. I go by churches that are feeding people. I ain't gonna say the ones that need it, but they're feeding people. They're pulling up in Cadillacs, Mercedes-Benz, and all this stuff. And I'm like, maybe if they step down, they probably wouldn't need. But anyway, I digress. But with you're actually feeding people that actually need the help. Am I correct about that?
Yes. But see, I don't know if I was called to city. Let me just give you a little short story. I was called to City Hall one time. A young fellow was feeding the city, but they was having a big cookout down at a park in Trenton. So I was asked if I wanted to be a part of it, but I turned it down because I didn't feel as though what they were doing was for helping the people.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was it just wasn't. It didn't go with what I do. What do Salem Baptist Church Bread of Life Ministry stand for? It wasn't what we do. So I turned it down, and then come to find out it was just the way I thought it was going to be. So, like I said, what we do is we do from the heart, and we do for people that really need help, and especially the senior citizens. Since this pandemic, a lot of them couldn't get out. They go shopping, stuff like that. So we made sure that we did a lot of senior citizen buildings in the city of Trenton and Ewan Township, with food bags and cooked food and stuff like that. If we was able to get the cooked food in there, and especially our people down, that's homeless. I don't like to use the word homeless, but, all the feedings that we do now, we do in front of the rescue mission down on Ewan Street. You know, because everybody that's homeless is not on drugs. And
Amen.
I hate when people say that. They say, well, everybody that's homeless. No, you got people that's working 40 hours a week and still don't have enough food to feed their family.
Yes, I agree.
So, you know, it's not just, you know, people that's on the street. Everybody is not, you don't know people's story. You know, if you take time and talk to some people, you will know their story. And most of us,
go ahead.
Most of us is a paycheck away from being that way.
Yes.
So, you know, you just got to count your blessings.
And you said, and you don't know people's stories. If people see me and you now, ain't nowhere in the world they can know our story.
No.
So when I tell people some stuff, so they look at me and say, no. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wasn't always like this here. Yeah. My brain was rattled one time.
Exactly.
And I've seen and I've been a part of from time to time with the feeding. I support it any way I can. And that's why I love our pastor, because he's seen the struggle you was going through, the sacrifice you was making. He asked the church to help out with that.
Right.
And what I want to ask you is, because I know a lot of it, and I know you did mention that you do work with the elderly at different times of the year. You have certain criterias for that, or you just know who need the help, or somebody say, okay, I know this place that need help, or they going through, or how do you assess where to go and how to set it up?
Well, I usually go to different buildings and I talk to like the supervisors or whatever, and I ask them, you know, do you have a lot of people in here that doesn't have a lot of help, doesn't have a lot of family to come visit them and stuff like that? And when they tell me they have quite a few people that seniors is just there, that has no help, gets no visitors and stuff like that, those are the buildings that we choose to help out. And especially around Christmas and Thanksgiving time, last year, we was blessed to, well, the year before last, because we couldn't do too much last year because everything was basically shut down, but we did do some things. But the year before last, like just say for instance, Thanksgiving, we fed 2 senior citizen buildings and the rescue mission, all cooked food. You know, we made sure we did it on Thanksgiving Day. We didn't do it the day after. Huh?
Where did you cook the food at?
We cooked the food at the church. We cooked all the food. We cooked all the food at New Salem Baptist Church.
Okay.
And, you know, I had a lot of volunteers. People was bringing in turkeys. You know, some people cooked stuff at home, brought it down. So we fed roughly over 400 people the year before last on Thanksgiving, all cooked food in the city of Trenton.
And that's a great thing. And you're to be commended, because I know the sacrifices you make. I know the things you go through. I know you've got to set up with a different places that will donate. Matter of fact, speaking of donation, I'm going to put in the description for this program, for this YouTube, you'll see in the description, it's going to be a link for anybody that want to donate to the Bread of Life program. That don't go to me, it don't go to John, it go to the Bread of Life to feed the people.
Right.
And listen, I'm going to say something here, because I've helped with this. There are people who don't have clothes to wear. John makes sure they have clothes, shoes, hats, gloves, socks. You know, these are some things that we take for granted. When we walk in our closet, we got to decide which pair of shoes we gonna wear.
Yeah.
These people don't, you know, they did what we used to do back in the day when we was really doing bad, to put cardboard in the bottom of your shoes to keep the water from coming in. That's what they doing. And John helps with that. And I know, you know, The people who've never been without can never understand when somebody give you a helping hand. There's a rule in our church, and John knows this. The pastor always say, you never look down on a man unless you're trying to help him up.
That's right.
And John epitomizes that because he goes out of his way to help people up. Not only does he do the Bread of Life ministry, he's also a part of the Big Brother program we had at our church. So his heart is for people. So there will be a link. So if you want to donate, it's up to you. You might want to get a Bible. There'll be a link for that. It's up to you what you want to do. This is not to get people to donate. It's to make people aware that there is a program in Trenton that's doing the work to help people and not looking to have for a financial reward in return for what they're doing. And I just wanted to say that in case John forget to bring it up. And I'd rather blow his horn than for him to blow his own horn. Amen.
Even even if you see that we're doing a feeding or a clothing giveaway, even if you just can come out and spend an hour to help, it don't have to be financially donation. It can be just your time, you know, because a lot of times when we do big feedings, we be needing volunteers. So that's part of the donation, your time. You know, I just wanted to put that in there.
Would that be included in the link or no?
Yes.
Or is the link just for financial donation or is for either one?
Either one.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we get that in there. I have no problem with that. I enjoy putting that in. And you know, and I remember one time we fed I forget what it was for, but at the Salvation Army, I had went to Sister James' house to pick up, I think it was beans, a big pan of beans and everything.
That was for the cookout.
Yeah, and
we did. The one we doing.
Yeah, I had to put a blanket in the back of my car.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm saying this to say that there are so many people who have a heart to help people, and because they know John Hart, they don't have a problem with cooking. So when he say he needs help for different things, like I didn't think it was robbery to go to somebody's house to pick up the food to take it there. Right. We need people to do that too. Because John was tied up. He couldn't go because he had to orchestrate there. So I went and took care of that for him. And so, you know, once you sit in to volunteer, John will let you know what he needs you at, what he needs you for, and how to do it. A lot of times he just needs service. Sometimes he just needs ministers there to pray for the people. There are so many different things going on down. And guess what? Our pastor be down there too.
Oh yeah, so definitely. Faithfully.
Yeah. He's not one of those that sit back and let you do everything. He's right there with us. So we want to make you aware of what's going on. And I'll tell you what, I wanted people to understand this about not just John, but especially in this case, John, that it doesn't matter how you started out. It's how you end up. Now, John started out one way, but look what he's doing now. And it makes he affected lives the other way, negatively. But now he's affecting lives positively. Because see, I know what it's like to go to somebody who's helpless and hopeless and give them hope. You can see that brightness in their eyes. You can see a whole different way in the way they talk and act. And that's what we want to do. You know, the Bible declares, if you do it to the least of mine, you do it unto him. And that's what we want to do. John, anything else you need to add to this?
No, you pretty much covered it, but I do want to mention that on May 22nd, at 12 p.m., the Bread of Life Ministry from New Salem Baptist Church will be giving our people their first cookout in front of the rescue mission. We're gonna, I couldn't get the street blocked off to get other stuff. I was trying to get the medical van down there, but I couldn't this year. But we'll be giving them a cookout on May 22nd at 12 p.m. If anybody would like to come out, donate your time, donate anything or whatever, you can contact me. I don't know if you.
Oh, okay. You had froze there for a minute.
Are you going to have my number on the link?
Whatever you want me to put on there, I'll email, phone, or whatever you want.
Minister Aki, I have my phone number on, or you can call the church or call me directly. If you would like to come out and participate, you might want to come out and pray with some people. We will be protecting with masks, gloves, keeping our social distance, But again, it's going to be on May 22nd in front of the rescue mission on Ewan Street side, cookout for our people. But pretty much that's it. I want to thank Minister Aki for taking this time out to talk to me. And everybody have a blessed day. Be safe.
And I want to say that I'm not encouraging this, but I know that some people might be going on vacation for a couple of weeks and might not get back in time to do things ahead of time. If you realize at the last moment that you want to help by donating food, money, or something, I'm quite sure if you come down there with it, John will not tell you to take it back home.
No, not at all.
So I mean, and that's only like if it's an emergency. We're not encouraging this, but if at the last minute you realize, I forgot, the date slipped past me, I want to help, and I was out of town or whatever, feel free to come on down. You will. It would be greatly appreciated. I know the Bread of Life Ministry will appreciate it. John will appreciate it, especially the people that in need will appreciate it, because we've all been in need one time or another. And the Bible declares you have not because you ask not. So we're asking everybody, if you have a heart for the people that need help, feel free to help. Remember, everything is in the description. Feel free to like this, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel to help it grow. Remember John's information. I know you've seen it already because it's right there at the bottom. And we're gonna be praying for you and everyone that wants to help in the ministry, those who wanted to help and couldn't help. If you can't help and you don't have the finances, you don't have the food, the money, pray for the ministry. It's called the Bread of Life Ministry. We will accept anything that you give, and God will take those prayers and use them, because he told them people, say the lady gave the widow mite, they gave the one, gave more than everybody else. So God, anything you do for the kingdom is a wonderful and great thing. God bless you. God keep you. God bless you. Yes, sir.
Can I thank a couple of people right quick?
Sure, go ahead.
I want to thank New Salem Baptist Church members. Our church, we do an awesome job together. I want to thank some other churches in the city of Trenton, because a lot of churches have came out and participated with us, and we have did the same. And all my volunteers that's not a part of other church that always come out when I call them. Everybody know who I'm talking about. I can't mention everybody's name in every church, but I just want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for all the support y'all been showing me for the last 6-7 years that I've been doing this. So I really appreciate y'all, and God bless y'all.
Amen.
And I definitely want to thank my pastor. My pastor, he be on me, and he makes sure that everything is right. He comes out. He's like Minister Aki said, he's not a pastor that just say, yeah, we can do this and don't show up. He really be putting that footwork in.
Yeah, he do. Yeah,
so I definitely want to thank him.
Yeah, he's a servant. He's a servant.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
With that being said, we're going to look forward to seeing you the next time. And if you see this video, there's another video that we did when we was feeding before. So you can check that video out too. God bless you. God keep you. God watch over you. Till the next time we meet. Bye.
Good.
Yep.